On the baking plains of the African savanna, life is a constant battle against the elements. But for this warthog, the dry season brings an even more intimate torment. He is heavily burdened. Thousands of ticks have attached themselves to his hide, an infestation that drains his energy and leaves him desperately uncomfortable. He moves with a weary gait, seeking any respite he can find in the scant shade of an acacia tree. He pauses, rubbing against the rough bark, but the parasites are stubbornly entrenched. Not far away, a banded mongoose is on the prowl. Constantly foraging, these small, agile carnivores are always on the lookout for their next meal. Moving swiftly through the brittle grass, the mongoose pauses. Rising onto his hind legs, he uses his sharp eyesight to scan the horizon. He has spotted something of great interest. The warthog has settled beneath the tree, exhausted by the heat and the relentless irritation. The mongoose approaches cautiously, but with clear intent. In the wild, interactions between different species can often be a matter of life and death, but this encounter is entirely different. The mongoose steps right up to the massive beast. Without hesitation, he goes to work. With surgical precision, he begins plucking the engorged ticks from the warthog's coarse skin. The warthog remains remarkably still, instinctively understanding that this tiny visitor is not a threat, but a highly skilled physician. Climbing onto the warthog's flank, the mongoose gains a better vantage point. This is a classic display of mutualism. What is a debilitating infestation for the warthog is a veritable feast for the mongoose.
On the African savanna, an unusual partnership unfolds. This warthog is covered in ticks, but relief has arrived.
The tiny predator works methodically, his sharp teeth nipping away the blood-sucking parasites one by one. The warthog leans into the touch, offering access to the hardest-to-reach places. The mongoose is tireless. He scrambles over the steep ridges of the warthog's back, navigating the coarse hair to uncover hidden caches of food. Each tick is a morsel of protein and moisture, incredibly valuable in this parched landscape. He crunches down on his prize, relishing the meal. To the mongoose, these bothersome pests are a delicacy. Confidence growing, the mongoose scales the summit, perching directly between the warthog's ears. He meticulously cleans around the sensitive eyes and the thick folds of the snout. The warthog is completely compliant, lowering his heavy head to the dust, surrendering himself entirely to this extraordinary spa treatment. Working down the spine, the mongoose unearths the largest, most deeply embedded ticks. He tears them away with a fierce, determined energy. The relief for the warthog must be immense. With every parasite removed, a fraction of his strength is returned. Fully relaxed, the warthog lies flat against the earth, a picture of absolute contentment. The mongoose, his belly now full, pauses his manic grooming. He sits proudly atop his massive companion, surveying the savanna. A remarkable transaction has been completed. His hunger satisfied, the mongoose dismounts. He slips quietly back into the dry stalks of grass, melting away into the landscape to rejoin his troop, leaving his patient behind. The warthog rests for a moment longer, savoring the unfamiliar sensation of comfort. Then, with a renewed vigor, he pushes himself up from the dust. Unburdened and revitalized, he sets off across the cracked, sun-baked earth, ready to face the challenges of the savanna once more.